afternoon. How are you today? How is your day? As you can see, today's topic is all about relationships, and I'm very excited to speak about that topic. Why people cheat in relationships? I was asked this question so many times from my clients on social media during my live sessions with other guests as well. People were contacting me and asking, Olga, why do people cheat in relationships? And I decided to actually address this issue and to open discussion about this so we can get to the nitty-gritty of why people cheat in relationships and how, most importantly, how we can prevent that. And also, is it even preventable? That's a good question. So as I'm here right now, it's actually very sunny today. It's very beautiful. It's really, really gorgeous day. I had a nice walk in the morning. So I wonder, what are you up to today? Where are you based? Let's see. Where are you joining me from today? And very much every day, we actually go international. We have people from all over the world, from different parts of the world and different continents. So let's see if today we actually can beat that and we can have even more international people watching me today. So please do let me know, where are you based? What time of the day it is there? And also, what are you up to today? How is your day so far? And also, if you are excited to start your weekend. And actually, that's the reason why I speak on Fridays about relationships, not on Mondays. Because Mondays are all about starting the productive week and thinking about business, about your career. But Friday, it's time to settle, time to go back to your families, to spend more time with them, to plan exciting weekends, do things together, and actually just have a wonderful, wonderful time. So in that case, let's start the discussion. But before I start that, let me just see where you're joining me from. I can see we have people from South Africa. And by the way, those people who are watching me right now on YouTube or Facebook, you will not see these comments because they're coming from LinkedIn. But I can see South Africa with me. I can see Morocco. I also can see some people from UK, from other platforms. That's exciting. I love seeing different people from different locations joining me in discussions. And especially because today it is such a painful discussion, right? As we know, probably everybody either heard about cheating or was suffering from their partners cheating on them in their relationships. Or maybe actually were cheating themselves, right? This happens left, right, and center. And as I said, I was asked so often by my clients about why do people cheat in relationships? Why do people look for somebody else? And also we have people from India. That's exciting. New Delhi. Yes, I've been there before. And actually been to South Africa, but I was going to go to Morocco for my birthday and did not manage to do that because of COVID-19, as we all know. So I missed Morocco trip, but I did go there for a day in February, and that was exciting. So good to see, really good to see. So here's the first comment from Roarke, and I wonder, where are you based, Roarke? Oh yeah, you're based in South Africa, I can see. I just came out of a relationship with someone I thought loved me. I believe she was cheating on me. Beautiful. This is exactly what we wanted for this discussion today. I mean, I'm really sorry you just came out from a relationship with somebody who clearly was not into you. But I must say here, first of all, let's remember that whenever people cheat on you, yes, it is always 50-50. It could be something to do with you. Right? It could be. I'm not saying it's always their fault. I always say, let's see what actually is there in the nitty-gritty of the situation, right? So let's imagine the situation when you were cheated and you actually realized that your partner left you for somebody else. First of all, first question is it my fault? What have I done? And of course, you start digging deeper. Was I not giving enough of attention? Could be that. Was it not interesting enough? Maybe I was boring. Could be that. Was the lack of intimacy? Could be that. Could be the fact that you just outgrow each other. Could be that. There could be so many things why people decide to cheat on you, right? But actually, let's have a look what happens in terms of why people generally go into cheating. People go into cheating just like a cat who is not fed at home is going to get something else somewhere else, right? And actually, I do have a friend who has a cat, but she hasn't got a cat. So the cat is almost like chronicle cheater, right? It's like chronic. So I think it's a boy. So he spends daytime at my friends and for the nighttime goes to friends' neighbors. Right? Why cat does that? Could be because my friend feeds him, right? And of course, he feeds at home and then maybe he wants more food and therefore he goes to my friend's house. So this is one of the typical, I know it's a very bizarre example, but it's one of the examples why nature makes you go somewhere else. Simply because you don't receive that important thing which is important for you in the relationship. And here it could be so many things. But let's remember that very often, first of all, it's important to discuss what you don't receive before you go somewhere else. It's important to also understand why you don't receive that and why do you want that. And I'll give you an example. When people go and cheat on somebody else because they are attention seekers, it doesn't matter how great partner is. It doesn't matter how amazing partner is. Because they're insecure within themselves, because they don't feel confident within themselves, because they don't believe in themselves, they need constant gratification, constant acknowledgement. They still can be likable. They still can get attention. They still can win a guy or a girl, right? So here, very, very often, the cheating itself starts with that person who cheats from not being confident, comfortable by themselves, and also secure within themselves. So they constantly seek for somebody else's approval, including intimate approval, outside of their relationships. So what you can do to prevent that cheating happen is build your partner, right? Help them build the confidence. Rather, what happens very often, partners knock off the confidence of their partner. And then what a surprise, partner will leave because they'll find somewhere else where somebody will be building them, right? So here, how can we do it? It happens through putting your partner first and important, right? It could be, again, let's go back to love languages, right? Do you know what your partner's love language, right? So if you want to build your partner, you need to know how to build your partner. Nevertheless, man or woman, you want to feel special. You want to feel very, very unique. And you want to feel that actually you are exclusive to your partner. And if you don't build your partner, if you don't give them that feeling of how amazing, how special they are, guess what? Once all this novelty of your relationship will fizzle out, they will go to seek for that approval somewhere else. So here, do me a favor. Go and research 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman, which actually can help you to understand what is your love language and will also help understand your partner's love language. And if you want a quick overview of the book, you can go to my YouTube channel and type 5 Love Languages Olga Gaydana. I have a short video on 5 love languages where I explain in details what exactly it means, 5 love languages, and how to understand them, how to spot them, and how to use them, right? So here what we do, we get together with a partner and we learn what's their love language, and we give them not only enough of that love and attention and appreciation at their love language, we also make sure they feel important, they feel exclusive, they feel very, very special. And as my favorite guru of all times, Tony Robbins, says, you make them number one. Okay, here's the second thing. You make them number one. Not only you make them feel exclusive and safe and special with you, but you also put them number one. You ask yourself, okay, what's happening between ourselves right now? Yes, I could be upset. I could be not myself. I could be angry, and I could be just really ready to destroy my partner. But then let me ask, why my partner behaved that way? Did he, or maybe she in your case, behaved out of insecurity? Maybe out of fear? Did he say something because something triggered him? It could be not even me. It could be something happening to him or her 20 years before, but the trigger is still there. Right? So when you put your partner number one and you start questioning yourself, going from your partner, okay, why my partner is behaving that way? Why do they say, how can I make them feel great? Then actually you can prevent that cheating. All right. Of course, we have to remember it's not only about making them special, but it's also about having healthy intimacy. It is about having great connection. Right? It is about having great communication. There's so many other things which are really, really important in relationships, right? So let me just see what comments we have here. I'm really curious to hear. So lack of respect and self-control. That's true, Ben. Exactly. You see, but again, where respect is coming from loving and accepting yourself. You respect others because you accept them, right? You just love them for the way they are. But if you don't love yourself for the way you are, if you're insecure within yourself, of course, you actually will go into cheating. So welcome, Ben from Kenya. Thank you so much. It's great to see you. And Rarke, you're saying, look, Olga, she did something terrible, but I stood by her regardless and never judged her. My only crime was loving her. It is destroying me after all the hardships we went through together. I stuck by her. I told her she was beautiful every day. I was there for her no matter what pain she went through and whenever she needed me. I also believe she was influenced by her family. You see, Rarke, you actually are showing a perfect example how very often we think we're doing great job by serving our partner and making sure they feel loved. You say specifically, I told her she was beautiful every day. Now my question is, was words of affirmations her love language? Because if words of affirmations is not her love language, let me just quickly tell you about all of them. Words of affirmations are basically compliments and communication. Second one is physical touch, kisses, cuddles, all the rest of it. Third one is time together, when you spend quality time together and partner craves you and more of you all the time. Fourth one is service, when actually you do things for your partner, cup of tea, dinner and everything else. And the fifth one actually is gifts and presents, right? There are 5 of them. For example, another friend of mine, she is not into compliments. She clearly says, Olga, I don't know why you like so many compliments, right? Why you're so much into compliments. I need quality time. I want my man be with me. I know what's really interesting? It's not only in loving relationships, in intimate relationships, it also goes beyond that into friendship. So I know how to make sure she's happy just by spending time with her. Right? This one, she feels loved because I spend some time with her. This is how she feels loved by her partner because he spends time with her. In my case, I don't need that much quality time, right? My love language is words of affirmations and also physical touch. So those who know me, you know how cuddly I am and you know how much I praise other people because that's my love language as well. And I thrive when people give me feedback and when people compliment me because that's my love language, right? So when you're saying to me now that you were telling her she's beautiful every day, you might just not tap into her love language. Maybe she wanted more quality time. Maybe she wanted gifts and presents. And when I mean gifts and presents, some people freak out and because they think, oh my God, now I have to give girls diamonds every day. Hold on a second. A sticky note with I love you, little card, little chocolate, little flower, something sent to her as a reminder of you will do as well. It doesn't have to be diamonds, private jets, and yachts every time, right? So don't think that drastic. So here are, okay, I'm really sorry that happened, but guess what? You can learn. Now it's perfect time for you to leave that situation in the past, just like everybody else who was cheated before. Leave that situation in the past, let it go, and allow actually you to have brand new life. Allow you to enjoy new life with a new knowledge, which you will gather only because it happened to you, right? So now let's go back to how else we can prevent cheating. We already established that people very often cheat because they don't receive something in the family, in the relationship, or potentially they are insecure and they're looking for that approval all the time. They need attention all the time, right? So how else you can prevent your trouble in relationships caused by cheating is also being interesting to your partner. And probably some of you will roll your eyes right now thinking, well, how can you be interesting? You just get together and then you just start living together. Well, yes and no. You do get together and you start living the life together and you move on in life together. But actually, if your life is quite boring, at some point, one of you will just leave these relationships. That's why people outgrow each other, because they get bored. And I remember I had a really interesting discussion with my client. We were speaking about her relationships, and because she was a gay, she was lesbian, so she was quite curious, Olga, but there's no point to go into relationships because all of them cheat. All of them cheat. And I said, well, is it true? She said, yes, all my previous partners, all of them were cheating. I said, okay, so does it mean now you don't have to go into relationships at all? She said, no, I will, but then what's the point? Because other reason, no point to go into relationships because it becomes boring after some time. And what was really interesting, when I asked her, okay, so what do you mean by relationships gets boring? How can you actually keep it interesting? She said, because they just don't have hobbies. They don't have anything with themselves. They are boring people, and I can't stand that. You know what's interesting? When we started digging deeper and I asked her, let's just have a look. How interesting are you? Let's just have a look. How many activities do you do? What your hobbies are? Let's just have a look how exciting life is with you. And to her own surprise, she realized, and obviously me too, together, that she didn't have that many interests and hobbies and even things what she would like to do. So as a result, of course, if you meet somebody who is at the same level, eventually life gets boring. So here, keep excitement fresh in relationships, right? Why we are so looking forward to see the person on the first date and the second date. Why every first Christmas is so exciting. Why first birthday is exciting. Why first New Year and first Valentine's Day and the first Easter. Why everything is so exciting. Because it is new. So in order for you to keep novelty, just keep trying new things. Implement new things. There are nowadays so much information about new activities, new places to go to, new things to do and learn that actually you have to try really, really hard not to bring excitement into your relationships. Let me give you an example. It could be a weekend, as we just go into the weekend right now. And you could say, well, it's Friday. What shall we do this weekend? Well, let's just take it easy. Let's just be at home. It might sound like a great idea, right? Because maybe you had a really busy week and you want just to relax. You want just to chill down. But now let's see how you're going to feel on Sunday. You're going to feel that you were stuck at home for 2 days with your partner. And yes, you might watch movies. Yes, you might have some intimacy in between. Yes, you will probably cook a dinner, but there was nothing exciting happening. Right? Maybe it's exciting to stay for the first time at home all day long and then second time all day long. But long term, that becomes quite boring. So let's play a second scenario. You say, okay, we're going to stay at home, but in that case, because it's raining, we can't really go anywhere, so you have a reason why you should stay at home, or maybe it's COVID-19, you have to be stuck at home, but then let's just get together and plan our next holidays, right? Or let's just look into houses, or maybe let's just come up with a job where we're going to put all the activities we always wanted to do, and then once we're out of lockdown, we can pull out one activity and we can go plan and do it. Right? Or even better, okay, let's not go far anywhere, but let's go for a walk. And as your partner is getting ready, you prepare a little picnic basket, and then you drive somewhere, you go out and you surprise him or her with a little picnic. Right? It can be very simple, but that simplicity, experiences, novelty, and excitement will keep your relationship going. Because when your relationship becomes stagnant, it's almost like water in a pond. Eventually, it's not pleasant smelling, right? So don't let your relationship go down that route. This is another way. This is the way number 3, how you can prevent people from cheating. Keep excitement, keep the novelty, keep your relationship interesting, right? And into this category, we also can put having common goals, because that will keep you going. That will help you actually go after maybe things, or maybe after experiences, but long term. It could be running marathons together. It could be building schools somewhere together. It could be volunteering somewhere together. It could be something else. But as long as you do things together and it's exciting, it's interesting, something to look forward to, something to anticipate about. Right? So let's remember that it's really, really important to keep your novelty. So let me just read your comments here. I love Antonia, and thank you so much for joining me. I love how regular you are. Thank you so much for being here. Good people are under the assumption that people cheat for selfish reasons, which may be true with some, but a lot of times it is for a lack of emotional support to say. Antonia, spot on. That's exactly what I was leading more towards the session today, but I'm happy to start this discussion now. And good morning to you too. I know you're based in New York, is it right? I think it was New York. And Shashikan, high expectation from partner, lack of empathy and trust, egoistic approach, and absence of self-analysis may be few reasons for deteriorating relationship. That's a very good comment. I do like it actually, especially the high expectation from partner. Oh my God, honestly, I wish I could probably spend on this live now 3 or 5 hours talking about relationships, because I'm so passionate and I would love to cover every comment there. It would be wonderful. But thank you so much, Shashikan, for joining me. You're also one of my regulars. I'm so happy to see you. By the way, these comments are on LinkedIn, those who cannot see those comments. So, as Antonia says, very often it's because there's no support, right? And that's only one thing. As I said earlier, you might not receive intimacy. You might not receive support. You might not receive that novelty. You might not receive just connection in your relationships. And that's why you will go somewhere else. Right? So to prevent all of that, you can do already those steps as I already established, as already mentioned. So first of all, definitely make sure you are exclusive with your partners. You talk about this, you make them feel exclusive, you make them feel special. Second thing, whenever you have an argument or whenever there's something not right, put your partner first and start working backwards from that and start working out why exactly this was said or this behavior happened. Let me just find out. Let me just put him first or her first and see where we can get from there. And the third thing, keep the novelty, excitement. Right? Keep things fresh. Keep things really, really spicy and hot, especially when it comes to intimacy. The thing is, there's nothing right or wrong in terms of intimacy. It's only stays in the bedroom. Whatever happens in the bedroom stays in the bedroom. So here, nobody's right or wrong. It's up to you two how you want your intimacy go. Which way, what you like, what you dislike. And if you try something once you like it, do it again. If you try something you don't like it, just don't do it. But when your intimacy is really healthy, when it is exciting, when actually you two are really, really satisfied with the intimacy in your relationships, there will be less chances for your partner to feel they're lacking something else. Right? Because here, let's imagine you not only don't have any intimacy in your family, but you also don't have communication. And then you also don't have any novelty. And then you also don't feel like special. So of course, all of that will affect you. But if your intimacy is so great and you are addicted to each other, and every time you see each other, you just are shaking because you just want each other so much, then everything else will go on a second plan. Simply because you're an emotional creature. So make sure your intimacy is at a very healthy level. As I said, you could just implement the very exciting new rule. Wherever we try once, if we don't like it, we don't do it again. But wherever we tried once and we like it, we just do it again. And don't feel guilty to open up. Don't feel guilty to talk about this. Because the last thing you want when your partner is admitting that he cheated on you or she cheated on you because there was not enough of intimacy, there was not enough of attention, there was not enough of something else. Right? So let's make sure we prevent stuff. I'm all for prevention. I would love to prevent so many things. So here, let's remember that it's not only few things which we can do, right? In terms of how to prevent cheating. We also have to include here connection. And connection is a very special thing. I must say, I'm very passionate about connection. And my rule is, and I know right now probably you will disagree with me. Sorry, I'm not sure if I'm going to say your name right, Rarke. You probably will disagree with me right now because you're saying you still hold on to that situation when your girlfriend cheated on you. But let's remember, in order to connect, you need to give 100%. When you give 100%, guess how many percent you will receive by natural law of reciprocation? You will get 100% back. Of course, we can argue. Some people will not. Some people are selfish. Some people will give me only 50. Of course they will. And guess what? We learn and we move on. We learn and we move on, right? We just learn and we move on to the next relationship if those partners don't want to be with you. Don't go after them begging being with you, right? But learn how to give 100% in your next relationships again. Let me give you an example. Imagine you go to the restaurant. Let's say you like Italian, or maybe you like Thai, or maybe you like Indian, whichever you like. You go there and you're really excited because you're having this anticipation of having an amazing meal and great atmosphere, and you're really looking forward to it, right? You go in there, you make your order, you have your food, and food is disgusting. You don't like it. You don't want it. And you say, excuse me, the food is awful, I don't like it. You complain about this, and waiter says, well, that's just all what we serve, we can't help you. Not like it should happen, but let's imagine it happen. Would you ever go back to that restaurant? Probably not, right? Would you ever will regret going to that restaurant? Probably yes, but for how long? Will you really regret going to that restaurant for the rest of your life and holding on to that experience? No. Probably you will not recommend people to go there, right? Probably you will leave a bad review online. Okay, you will have this moment of your life when you'll be fuming about that. But eventually, you'll go again for a meal. And because you like your favorite cuisine, maybe it is Italian, maybe it's Italian, maybe it's Indian, you go again back to that type of cuisine, restaurant, but you don't go to the same restaurant. And what do? You go in with 100% of anticipation again. You go in with expectation that that's going to be 100%. Right? But exactly the same happens in our relationships. As I said, learn how not to go back to that partner or that type of partner, which is even more important, right? Learn why you get drawn to that partner. That's why coaching is so powerful, because we can strip down why exactly you get attracted to the same partner type again, and again. And you'll be amazed how many people have 10, 15, 20 relationships with the same type of partner simply because they haven't learned. So whatever happened in your previous relationships, learn and move on. There are plenty of people in the world who actually can give you what you want in relationships. But when you are sitting there and crying and sobbing about your previous relationships, you don't allow them to come into your life. And especially even more, you scare them off with you being so upset about what happened to you in the past, because they don't want to live in your past. They want to live in your future, right? So let's remember that here, in order to build the connection, it is about giving 100% of yourself. And what does it mean? That means being vulnerable. That means being open. That means being honest. That means sharing. That means talking. That means expressing yourself. That means learning together who are you and who is your partner, but doing that together, right? So here, I'll give an example from my other situation with my client. It was really interesting. As we were working on her being single and wanting to find a partner, I clearly remember the day when actually I asked her about being 100%. And she said, of course not, Olga, because what if? And I said, okay, let's have a look in couple of scenarios here. So scenario number one, you give your partner 100% and you really enjoy every day. You really enjoy life with your partner. Everything is exciting. It's wonderful. You feel connected. You have the most remarkable relationships ever in the world. And then your partner dies. Sad, right? But guess what? People have tendency to die. If you haven't discovered that yet, there's one guarantee in life, that you will die one day, right? So when you give 100% and your partner, by the natural law of reciprocation, gives you 100%, and one day partner dies, at least you had a good time, right? Now you have amazing memories. Now you have no regrets. Now you feel, oh my God, yes, he passed away. Yes, she passed away. But we had the most beautiful and wonderful time together. And you get all these lessons from this relationship, and maybe eventually you step into the new relationship, but you always cherish that time with your partner who passed away as the best time ever, because you both were giving 100%. And case number two, you give 100%, you give it all, you are open, you're vulnerable, you share, you discuss, you listen, you exchange, you are really immersing each other into these beautiful, wonderful relationships, and your partner is giving you 100% as well. And then something happens and you grow apart, or maybe they cheat on you, but it's almost like contradicting itself. How somebody can cheat on you when you give them 100% and they give you 100%, right? You reduce the chances of somebody walking away because you will be giving 100%. Because even though you think you give them 100% and you know you don't, but you make the impression for them you do, guess what? Subconsciously, they sense it. It's called energy exchange. So when you don't give 100% of you, they will never give you 100%. That's why have a look next time when something doesn't work out in your relationships and you think, I don't understand why it happens. Ask, what am I giving? What is my partner mirroring right now? What am I not giving to my partner? Ask yourself, and in 90% of cases, I can guarantee you will see where you actually slipped yourself, and all your partner did just mirrored what was your behavior. This is not saying it's your fault. This is just saying you are learning and you're exploring relationships. And since many people came from very broke families where single parents were raising them, families where there were maybe alcohol addiction, drug addiction, abuse, and everything else, many people don't know how to build relationships. So when you step into the relationship with somebody, you have high expectations of them knowing how things must be. but they have no clue. So when you become vulnerable and you share with them and you express, for example, darling, I really, really feel bad when you drink that much alcohol. Why, darling? Well, because it triggers me. I remember what my mom, maybe my dad, maybe somebody else would drink that much alcohol. It really triggers me. That's one conversation versus, oh, you're alcoholic, you drink all the time. These are two different conversations. And then if really it's quite a lot of alcohol your partner is drinking, in that case you can have a discussion. What is all right? Or maybe there's a particular behavior from your partner which actually is not making you feel safe because of the trigger you have. So when you become vulnerable and you openly share, your partner will reciprocate that because it's a natural law. Whatever you give, you get back. So when you think, and actually I do have a case of one client who was saying, oh, but I give 100%. And at the same time, guess what this client was doing? Seeing other people at the same time. And I must say, when you are spreading your energy across many different partners, there is no way you can give 100% because that's the same like driving few different cars at the same time. You can never be a driver in a driver's seat at many cars at the same time. It just simply doesn't happen. So here, please remember, in order for you to build a really strong relationship with your partner, you got to have that connection. Yes, great intimacy will help. Yes, putting them number one will help. Yes, making them feel important, feeling them special and exclusive will help. But connection, it's almost like that glue which will put these all things together. Because when you feel connected, then your intimacy is so much better. When you feel connected, then you don't have to prove to them again how important they are to you. Because you feel each other and you sense each other. That is really, really important to remember. Right? So let's make sure we do work on that connection. We do work on our vulnerability and our openness. And actually, I would highly, highly recommend to watch an interview with Nick Wilson, which we did this Wednesday on YouTube. You can just type Nick Wilson and Olga Gaydana and you will see, because with Nick we discussed how lack of openness can affect your relationships. And it's what Nick actually admitted himself. We were not talking about relationships in Wednesday in particular, it was mental health, particularly men's mental health and masculinity. But Nick specifically said how him not opening up and not sharing impacted relationship, that eventually his partner left. And why she left? Because subconsciously she did not feel trusted. When you don't share information with your partner, when you don't open up, you don't share your fears, you don't share your goals, you don't share who you are, they feel you are hiding something from them, right? And that will make them more suspicious, that will make them curious what's happening, and that also will potentially make them cheat as well. Because when they don't know what you're doing, then they can do it as well. That's kind of unwritten rule which people usually follow. Right? So let's really remember how important it is to build that connection, right? And another point, which I love how Ravindra asked the question about this, because that was my next question. What is your say for this example? A partner cheats because of financial crisis. I must say that people don't just cheat all of a sudden, right? It happens gradually. First of all, partners need to detach themselves emotionally, right? And then physically in order to do that, right? When a particular woman, when they live relationships, they detach themselves emotionally first and then physically, right? So when financial crisis hit, what was happening before that? Right? Let's just see what exactly was happening that actually led your partner go somewhere else. What was lacking there for a while? Because I don't believe it will happen just because of financial crisis. People will refer to that sometimes, that I cheat on you because now you lost everything and you're a loser, because there was something else missing. And maybe there was a connection, because if you were connected, if you maybe you would share your dreams and your passions and your aspirations, and your partner would never leave, because they would feel that they actually part of your future, not only of now, right? So here it's important to remember, it's never only one reason, never only one reason. There are more reasons. First of all, could be their own insecurities, their own lack of confidence. To prevent that happening, build your partner. Make them feel number one, make them feel very special, as I said earlier, right? And second of all, it could be, yes, it could be something missing in relationships, not because if it is your fault, but because something is missing in the relationships. But talking more about the particular financial situation, yes, in the world, we have this view that women are gold diggers and men are using women financially and things happen. It's true. But let's have a look what happens when people have money, right? Money represents safety, because when you have money, you can be secure, you can be safe, you can be provided with stuff and everything else, right? So when you see in the nature, squirrel is going and looking for more nuts and she puts them in her tree and she saves them for the overwinter, we don't judge squirrel, right? Because she wants to have more nuts. Then when we see other animals gathering food and actually having that, we don't judge them because they want to have more food. But when actually humans want to have more money, we judge them. But hello, this is a natural need for more abundance. It's absolutely natural to want more of something. So of course people want more. Because what is money? Money represents experiences, choices, fun, safety, ability to treat your family, ability to eat healthier, to stay healthier, ability to look good, ability to travel around the world, right? Money is just a tool which can make your relationship juicier. But if we take another example from my clients where a husband was building a house and he was using absolutely all money to build a house. They were living literally out of minimum in order to build a house. And also, that's the most interesting part. He was never listening to his wife's suggestions. He was never allowing her to express her opinion about the house and what she would like to have in the house and all the rest of it. So eventually, by the time house was built and they were buying furniture, his wife just lost it and she left him. So here you can say, yes, it could be finances because they were living out of minimum. But actually, she never was heard. She never felt she is appreciated or her opinion matters, right? So very often what we see on the surface, just like an iceberg, it is only 1/9 of the actual issue, right? You always have to dig deeper. But as I said, there are ways how you can prevent cheating, right? Because there are two reasons why people cheat. Let me just wrap it up again. First of all, if they are insecure within themselves and they're constantly looking for the gratification, for that approval, for that fact, if they can still be likable and they still are attractive, right? They are insecure, and you can help them to get more secure by building them. Right? By building them, putting them number one, making them special, by complimenting them, by talking to them in their love language, right? But second thing is because something is missing in the relationships. But as long as you put your partner number one and they feel that, they feel very special with you, right? As long as you also have really healthy, wonderful, exciting, spicy, hot intimacy, that will help. You also have really good connection with your partner, you're vulnerable, you share, you discuss, you talk, and when in terms of connection, and also let's go back to putting the number one, you talk to them in the right love language, right? You use the right way to make them feel loved, to make them feel appreciated, to make them feel very, very special in your life, and also you keep the novelty very, very fresh. Right? So you don't have to blame money later on, but it's actually about novelty, what your money could give. And sometimes there are so many free stuff which you can do. You don't have to buy your girls diamonds every day, right? There's so many other ways how actually you can keep the novelty. You can bring the spiciness into relationships. So I really appreciate everybody who joined me today. It's amazing to see so many comments. I can see how important this topic is. Thank you so much for joining me today. And I love this comment from Ravindra. When two people don't value each other, there arises issues. That is true. But again, we can't really value others if we don't value ourselves, right? So it also starts with ourselves. So let's remember that. But thank you for this comment. And Ravindra says, what is your say for this example? A partner cheats because of financial crisis. Oh, which I already covered. Sorry about that. Read it again. And then maybe that's what happened with our relationships. Exactly, Rory. Maybe there was lack of communication. Maybe it was just lack of understanding and knowing each other, right? That's important to remember. And Gideon, the comment from you is, do they cheat to get money or someone can't function well? That's interesting. Again, money gives you choices and gives you tools, right? Money is a marvelous way which can make your life so much more exciting and fun, right? Money is fun. Money is great to have. But here, let's remember that if you are really stingy and you don't spoil your partner, even though you have money, guess what? They want to be spoiled. They will go somewhere else. And you can argue that it is because of money. Of course you can. But actually, that's because you probably did not speak to them on their love language. So if their love language is presents and gifts, and you never spoke to them on their love language, guess what? Yes, they're going to find somebody who supposedly has more money or even have more money, but it's because of their love language. And if you would have spoken that love language, they probably would not leave, right? So it's not only the money, it's what money can give. Okay, because money is a tool. Money is exciting thing which actually can be used in many, many different ways to actually make your life really, really exciting. So here we go. So thank you so very much, everybody who joined me today. I really enjoyed receiving your comments. I really enjoyed seeing you here. That's amazing to see you all. Really appreciate you. We went international again, which is amazing. And I like you in your comments. Some ladies say they want strong men. Not some, but actually many. Probably all. They might not admit it publicly, especially because of all this big movement of feminism, right? Because now women are taking over the world and all the rest of it. But actually, let's remember, in every woman, even if she's really strong and she's powerful, she's a leader, she's winning and she's building and she's crushing and she's doing whatever else, there is a little girl inside of her who remembers, if she had a really masculine, strong father, that she was a daddy's girl. Right? That she was spoiled, she was looked after, she was a little girl, and she felt safe, right? And if a girl did not have that example, if there was no father figure, if maybe she wasn't raised by a great example, great role model, in that case, subconsciously, she is lost. She doesn't know what role model of a man is. And of course, naturally, women will always get drawn to a masculine man because that is to do with the energy. Masculinity, when it is really high, helps women to become more feminine. So here, man, if you really want to improve your relationships, raise your masculinity, work on your masculinity. And ladies, work on your femininity. Because when you're more feminine and you're more feminine in your relationships, you can be more masculine at work. That's your playground. Go, win, build, explore. But when you are with a man, if you drop your masculinity, you become more feminine, then your man has a chance to be more masculine. But if you're very masculine, your man subconsciously will let you be more masculine. He will drop his masculinity in order to please you, and then you will be not happy because you don't want him to drop his masculinity. You want him to be strong and powerful and supportive and hold the space, right? So, you know what? I think that will be great, exciting conversation for another day, masculinity and femininity. Let's have a discussion, but for today, let's finish this off. My plan was to keep it slightly shorter, but I do like how many comments and questions I had today. That was really great to have you. Really love participation on LinkedIn. That was really, really amazing. Thank you so much, everybody who joined me. Thank you so much, everybody who joined me also on Facebook and also YouTube. I appreciate you. So I hope that this will really help you to build your better, stronger, and more passionate relationships, because we have only one lifetime, right? We have only one life when we can do that. Why not to do it now? If my clients did that, you can do it too. Only you have to do one thing. If you're not sure about your relationships, if you're not in relationships, you would like to be in relationships, in that case, just contact me and we can sort out your relationship blocks. We can sort out your limiting beliefs about relationships, and we can sort out current issues in your relationships, just like I did with so many people already. So thank you so very much for joining me. I appreciate you. And I'll wish you a wonderful, spicy and hot weekend. Enjoy that, and I'll see you on Monday. There'll be a live show at 7:30 for 10 minutes inspiration, and also at 1 p.m. going live with a guest, and it will be really exciting. So whatever you do, enjoy your weekend, stay safe, and we'll see you very soon. Sending you my love.